Hey, it is Monday. Guess what? The stormies are on the way. We've got rain, we've got storms, we've got hail, and we've got more. I don't know, but it is May, so what else do you expect? Let's get into it in this Monday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. Good morning, I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldy-in-Chief David Reimer. It's Monday, the 5th of May, 2025. Cinco de Mayo! Those of you partaking in those activities, be safe. Please don't be a dum-dum. Otherwise, guess what? Well, no chips for me, but alas, we do have stormies to discuss. Let's just get into it. Here's the severe weather outlook going into this afternoon. Tonight into the pre-dawn hours on Tuesday. We already had a storm with some hail on Interstate 37 just southeast San Antonio a couple hours ago and going into this afternoon, but actually especially this evening, tonight, into the pre-dawn hours Tuesday, I wish, we are expecting the potential for scattered to several severe thunderstorms across West Texas, the Permian Basin, the eastern Trans-Pecos into the big country, the Concho Valley, the Edwards Plateau, and the hill country. Now, we've got a couple rounds of storms we're expecting today. One round is expected this afternoon, isolated to maybe some scattered severe storms out in West Texas, the Permian Basin. The potential for those storms to produce big hail, strong winds, maybe a tornado or two. Going into tonight, we're actually going to see higher chances of thunderstorms across western parts of the state with an associated severe weather threat. Most intense storms could produce baseball-size hail, maybe larger, damaging winds of 60 to 80 miles an hour, and the potential exists for a few tornadoes, even late tonight into the early morning hours Tuesday. So unfortunately, we may have some rowdy weather to deal with in the middle of the overnight hours in these regions, so we'll need to keep an eye on things. Going into Tuesday, the risk of severe storms will shift to the eastern half of the state. We're expecting isolated to at least scattered severe thunderstorms across the eastern half of the state with a focus on parts of North Texas, Central Texas, the Hill Country, the Brazos Valley, East Texas, Southeast Texas, the Golden Triangle, the Coastal Plains, into the Toledo Bend Reservoir regions. Like today, the most intense storms could produce large hail, damaging winds, and the potential for a few tornadoes. This may be a continuation of the storms expected to develop late tonight across western parts of the state, which will then move east tomorrow morning, and tomorrow afternoon. Now, what about flooding? Well, guess what? Here's the threat of flooding going into tonight, Tuesday, into Tuesday night. We are expecting the chance of flooding across the Panhandle, Northwest Texas, Texoma, Northeast Texas, East Texas, Southeast Texas, Central Texas, the Brazos Valley into the Golden Triangle with the highest threat of flooding, perhaps some significant flooding issues materializing in the Arklatex, East Texas, and the Toledo Bend Reservoir area. And just because I like to be dyslexic, here is the actual risk for today and tonight. The chance of flooding concentrated on the western half of Texas, including the Panhandle, West Texas, the Permian Basin, the Big Country, the Concho Valley. As the scary dumpster smashing noise of doom arises, here's the high-resolution rapid refresh model going into this afternoon, tonight, Tuesday, and Tuesday night. Guess what? It's going to storm. In fact, we're expecting scattered showers and storms across a good chunk of the state today, but most activity will tend to behave itself until we get into later today in the Permian Basin. West Texas, that activity, maybe also the northern Edwards Plateau, eastern Big Bend region. Tonight, we're going to see a nasty round of storms develop. West Texas, the Permian Basin, the Edwards Plateau, that activity is going to move east early tomorrow morning into the pre-dawn hours, into the Big Country, the Concho Valley, the Edwards Plateau, the Hill Country, even parts of central and south central Texas. And this model indicates we could be dealing with some very intense supercells at 2 to 3 a.m. in some of these places, with the potential of very large hail, damaging winds, and even a few tornadoes. Make no mistake about it, Mama Nature don't give a bippity-boppity-boo about the time of night. If the conditions favor it, there will be severe weather, and we probably will be dealing with that overnight into Tuesday morning, but we could even have isolated severe storms going into the mid and late afternoon hours in the Permian Basin. Little bit of a lull that's going to make folks think it's over, and then in the middle of the night, whoa, it is time for big bad, very mad stormies. Activity on Tuesday, again, you can see we're going to have storm spread into the eastern half of the state from the west tomorrow morning into early tomorrow afternoon. Some of those storms continuing to produce large hail, damaging winds, spin up tornadoes, flash flooding. And then, assuming those storms get out in time, we're going to see the skies clear back on I-35, central Texas, south central Texas, and more heavy thunderstorms develop late tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening, which would then progress into the Brazos Valley, southeast Texas, the coastal plains, the coastal bend, south Texas. And I mean, you can see this model has a whole lot of nonsense ongoing on the Texas Gulf Coast late Tuesday into Wednesday morning from pretty much Corpus Christi, the lower Texas Gulf Coast, the middle Texas Gulf Coast, the upper Texas Gulf Coast. Everybody gets rain chances with this, so yay. And again, the most intense storms, flash flooding, big hail, strong winds, maybe a few tornadoes. I don't think the tornado threat's going to be super widespread, but, you know, if one comes down your street, it's going to be a big deal. Now, going beyond all that, all right, here's the European weather model going through mid and late week. Good news is, after we get past Wednesday and Thursday, we do expect things to calm down going into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're going to have several days of less active weather across the state, which will make Baldy-in-Chief a very happy person. So, the good news is, we're going to have some quiet weather. Yep, I said the Q word, but that's how high confidence is on this for Friday, Saturday, and hopefully into Sunday. It's May, so who knows how long that's going to last, but we do look to get less active after Wednesday of this week, which is a very, very good thing. Let's take a look at forecast rain totals over the next couple of days. So I'm just going to take us through Wednesday night at this point, because that's really the main time frame we're focusing on here, and you're looking at pretty good rain totals, on average about 1 to 3 inches of rain with isolated amounts up to 6 from the Panhandle, West Texas, Permian Basin, Northwest Texas, the Big Country, the Concho Valley, Texoma, North Texas, Central Texas, South Central Texas, the Coastal Bend up into Southeast Texas, the Golden Triangle, East Texas, the Brazos Valley, Northeast Texas, and the Arklatex, with, again, this being a regionalized, broad-stroked product here. Some folks, you may not get anything. And then some folks, you may get twice what is shown here. It's going to vary quite a bit locally versus, this map just showing everything looking all hunky-dory and perfect. If everything was perfect in Weatherland, well, we probably wouldn't be here yipping and yapping about it. So, again, we are expecting severe weather issues heading into this afternoon, tonight, Tuesday morning, Tuesday afternoon, probably some into Tuesday night, and then guess what? The severe weather risk goes bye-bye, adios, au revoir, beater's aim. But the flooding, even though we're going to have flash flooding issues the next couple of days, street flooding, low-lying areas having issues, that's going to be an issue during and shortly after storms. The threat of river flooding, lake flooding, that's going to continue for probably a couple weeks after the fact, as we need to get a lot of water across northern parts of the state downstream through all the flood control devices and eventually out into the magical land of the Gulf. So, we'll be keeping a close eye on things here. We're going to have storm chasers out and about today and tomorrow. We're going to be keeping a very close eye on things across the state. If we have tornado warnings, you know it, we're going to have live severe weather coverage here on the Texas Storm Chasers platforms. And of course, if you want to keep an eye on the sky, you can do that with the free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app. Just search for Texas Storm Chasers or you download apps to your devices. You can also find us on the web, texasstormchasers.com. We'll keep a close eye on things. We'll have frequent updates on our social media channels, weather blog, and more. We'll let you know of any changes. Y'all have a good one. I have no doubt we'll be chatting again this afternoon. Have a great Monday. Enjoy Cinco de Mayo. God bless.